Hey, scrappy people, Tracy Reed here today, coming at you with a life crafted layout using the new Citrus Twist Kits retro collection and this beautiful stamp that is new this month as well. And I am going to be creating a highlights page because I took this photo for social media and I wanted to sometimes I just like to put my face out there, say hi to everyone. And I took this photo in my new craft space in my new home, and it made me um, super happy. And then I realized just how happy I looked in this photo and content and peaceful more than anything else. And so I wanted to create a list about all of the things that are making me feel peace right now. And I stamped out this list with the stamp. You can see I accidentally dropped the one. That's okay. I'm going to change that later on. I do engineer my layout so that you can't see that miss stamp, so it's not that big of a deal, but I do end up reprinting out this highlights bookmark with my journaling printed on it and restamping. But I also stamped that phrase from that stamp set that says the look in your eyes because I felt like that really resonated with the theme of the layout that I was trying to create. So that is where I'm starting. Now I need to make my page go 5 inches because the Citrus Twist printable papers are always traveler's notebook size, which is short by about 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to map my photo on this cute striped paper. I thought that the colors worked well to draw in all of the colors that I wanted to use from this collection. I'm wearing orange, and I didn't even realize when I took this photo or when I decided that I was going to scrapbook it that there was so much orange in the retro collection, but it worked out perfectly when I was trying to decide what I wanted to, what collection I wanted to use with this photo. So I like to do tears when I am, especially when I'm extending the papers and making the page 5 inches. I think that it's a interesting visual complement that sort of adds to the page without adding too much complexity. Like I can still build on top of this page pretty easily. So I like to add tears. I also like to, when I'm trying to extend my papers and make the layout look cohesive, I like to include the paper that I use on the inside edges of each page to match so that they sort of bridge the whole middle of the page and make everything look like one layout rather than two layouts that go together. So I'm going to glue this down and then I'm going to trim it so that it is 5 inches wide. And then I'm going to decide what I want to be on the other side. I really, really love this teal floral, but I didn't want to have two different florals and I felt like it would be distracting. So I went with this camera background because I thought that it was nice and neutral, but still fit with the theme of the page. So I'm going to stick this down and I'm going to use the other side of that torn paper to cover up that one and bridge the gap like I was talking about. So I'm just going to glue this down and then I will trim it to 5 inches as well. I initially wrote my journaling out, but a lot of times, especially when I'm trying to fill a lot of space, my handwriting gets sort of messy towards the bottom, and that's not even what happened this time, although that is a common problem when I'm trying to write a lot of journaling. But I started with one pen that didn't want to write very well. Sometimes I have pens that don't like writing on the specific paper that I print on. And so when I transferred or changed to a new pen, which was the exact same pen, just a different version of it, the ink came out heavier. So the beginning of my journaling is nice and thin, then the end of my journaling is thick, and so I just couldn't even take it. So I decided to just reprint the whole thing. So now I'm going to start embellishing, and I wanted to pull in a couple of word bits from the sticker sheet. This is all of these embellishments are from the retro mini kit from Citrus Twist Kits, and all of the papers are their printable papers that coordinate with the retro mini kit. So I'm sort of just working my way through, trying to decide what I want to use. I want to keep it fairly clean and simple. And just like I always do whenever I decide I want things to be clean and simple, I really try to over add. It's what I do. It's who I am. I like adding a lot. So I always have to go back and edit and pull things off. But this time I'm trying really hard not to add too much in the beginning. This peace word was perfect. The look in your eyes, peace, plus it was orange, just worked out perfectly. I thought maybe then I had too many words down there at the bottom, but that sticker was stuck, and so I decided to just go with it. I didn't find any die cuts that I really wanted to use on this page, but I am struggling just a little bit with the florals on the highlight page. Like, I wanted to add more to the page, but these florals and those florals don't really match really well, and I was really having a hard time, more than anything, finding somewhere to put things, because everywhere I put things, like, it was just, these florals were awkwardly sticking out when I tried to cover them up, and just everywhere I tried to put something, it just didn't seem to work. I really wanted this hell yes. I thought it would be great for bringing in another black line. Like, you can see the black line in the planner that I have in that photo. I thought that that would mimic that really well, but there was nowhere to put it. So now I'm just trying to extend this cluster out horizontally so that maybe I can have a little bit more room to add just a little bit of stuff to this page, because you know me, I need stuff even when I'm trying to be clean and simple. So I'm just trying real hard to find a place to embellish, and that's just mostly because of the elements that I chose and the orientation that I chose, and it really has nothing to do with the collection that I'm using. It's just sometimes it's hard to find somewhere to add things, and I always like at least 3 points of embellishment for that visual triangle effect. Alright, so I think I've got this down. I'm going to cut off the bottom here. I like that good vibes. I felt like it went with the theme of the page. Still trying to work in that hell yes. It's never going to go down. Oh no. But that's okay. We'll make it work. So now I'm kind of thinking I need some more, like, less words, more embellishment, more icon. But there's actually not a lot of icons in this particular collection. There's a few florals, and then there's these funky retro starbursts, which is what I end up going with. I felt like they would conflict less with the rest of the embellishments on the page than if I tried to add in more florals, but they gave me that pop of embellishment that I was looking for. So I'm trying to make sure that all of the colors are well represented. There's purple in that floral that I chose, but not purple anywhere else on the page, so I'm trying to make sure that I incorporate in some of this purple with that starburst. And then I wanted to make sure that there was yellow as well. So now I've printed out my journaling and re-stamped everything off camera. And I felt like I just needed a little bit of black because there was that bold black line in the photo and it was nowhere else. And so I just felt like if I added a little bit of black, it would just finish off this page perfectly. But then, of course, I struggle trying to find a good orientation for all these enamel dots. I'm doing 2 on each side rather than 3, and so I'm just trying to make sure that everything looks nice and even, which you wouldn't think that an enamel dot would give you problems, but when they're this big bold black color and everything else on the page is nice and light, it just takes a minute to make sure that everything gets settled down. So I end up going with 3 in 2 places rather than 2 in 3 places, and I like the way that that looks. So that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. If you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Tracy M. Reed. I'd love to see you over there as well, and I will see you later. Thank you.